What's going on, YouTube? And we back with another video, and I'm sorry. I know, I ain't even sorry. But man, we back with another video. I've been gone for a minute, just really getting my voice back. I was sick as a dog. I had the flu, then it turned to pneumonia on my lungs, and I already got it. I was messed up, but I'm back every day, consistent video, and we looking at Shot Wreck. Rap a Little Wet, one of Jerbo affiliates. No Limit. Now we like to shut this video out and see what y'all got going on. We gotta go with a switch after beating full bodies. It'll just be full bodies. Now you gotta go with a switch. Like a year later or two. Let's see.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on Chicago rapper Wet 'Em Up, who beat 4 bodies and was just caught with a switch. January 19th, 2024. The feds executed a search warrant at 6 a.m. on an apartment in Chicago's Canaryville neighborhood located on the south side.
Right.
As agents began to execute the warrant with law enforcement surrounding the building, a man would be observed leaning out of a window, throwing a firearm onto the roof of the building. The weapon was photographed before being recovered and determined to be a Glock with a switch. The switch turning the semi-automatic handgun into a machine gun.
That sounds like a case that might be beaten. But if they got a video of somebody doing it, they're going to try to identify who that person was. But, yes, do y'all got a video of somebody throwing it up there? They say no. Sounds like a beaten case to me.
Man seen throwing the Glock would be none other than 26-year-old Maurice Harris, who's also known as the Chicago rapper Drench, aka Wet 'Em Up. Wet 'Em Up's notorious reputation went viral back in 2017, starting with the murder of his father. March 29th, 2017, it was just after 11 in the morning when 37-year-old Jerry Jacobs was walking down a sidewalk in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood.
Okay.
That's when a dark-colored car pulled up and 4 men got out, opening fire.
Damn.
Jacobs was shot in the right side of his body and was able to take himself to the hospital over 4 blocks away. Rushed into surgery, Jacobs would remain hospitalized into the night when things took a tragic turn in the early morning. At 3:40 a.m., Jacobs was pronounced dead. News would break he was a documented gang member, no suspects were in custody, and within 12 hours of his death, his son Wet 'Em Up allegedly got his revenge.
Damn.
Chicago neighborhood rocked by gun violence, the bullets flying inside a restaurant and outside as well.
At this South Shore restaurant, chaos and carnage. Relatives of those killed in tears and disbelief.
I ain't going nowhere till they get my baby up off the ground. I ain't going nowhere.
It was 4 p.m. when a man walked into a restaurant and opened fire.
Hakeem Jeffries made history. Now he wants to make progress. So he's endorsing David Trone for Senate, calling Trone a consistent and valued partner to fix our broken criminal justice system, root out systemic racism, and put people over politics.
Research indicates that activating this fasting switch can help shrink stubborn areas more effectively than ever before.
Officers arrived on...
Man, yo came back with the revenge on him. Boy, that ain't no joke, boy. Yo killed his father. Yo said, fuck that.
Finding a dead man in front of the restaurant, 2 dead men inside, and another dead man outside slumped against a tree a block away. All 4 were shot to death. And come to find out,
Damn.
2 of the victims were brothers, visiting their mother who worked at the restaurant, as she had to listen to the sounds of her 2 boys being gunned down outside.
2 people in the restaurant still in there dead. He went in there and shot them 2. After he killed them 2, he came out and shot my 2 nephews and killed my 2 nephews.
Look at them. Look at them. I'm sorry to say it, but look at her face. What you was saying when they killed his father though? How you was looking when they did that? Oh, it was all smiles and giggles. Now you telling to the news now. Yeah.
Whoever did it need to step up and be accountable for their actions and get sent up for it before they get hurt out here on these streets.
Oh,
Because somebody gonna hurt them.
The brothers were identified as 19-year-old Raheem and 20-year-old Dylan Jackson. The two other victims were identified as 28-year-old Emmanuel Stokes and 32-year-old Edwin Davis. The broad day slaughter would shake the city, and 5 days would pass before Chicago police announced an arrest.
I'm proud to announce that we've made an arrest in the quadruple homicide that occurred on the 2700 block of East 75th Street. 19-year-old Maurice Harris has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder in connection with this incident.
19 years old.
This is his first arrest as an adult, and while I can't go into the specifics into his extensive juvenile history, as we've seen too many times before here in Chicago, he's no stranger to CPD.
Damn.
Wet 'em Up was identified by photo lineup by multiple witnesses at the scene of the shooting. He'd be held without bond and remain in the Cook County Jail for the next 3 years until July of 2020. A court hearing would yet again shake the
I miss right there. Sorry, folks, but this nigga killed 4 people, and he's still not big time rapper, my people. He's still not a big time rapper. So don't think to go out here, do that dumb shit, and then try to rap about the shit. It's gonna blow you up. No. This man, a lot of people probably don't even know about Wet no more. Like really, he was out making music and shit, but I'm pretty sure nobody was really even talking about him too much for real. But G Herbo kept talking about him. But I'm just saying, man, don't go out here and do some dumb shit trying to make a name for yourself. It's not worth that.
As prosecutors announced the evidence was insufficient to meet the burden of proof. Detectives further investigated, finding the witnesses weren't credible and evidence that Wet 'em Up couldn't have been the shooter. So while the families of the victims expected Wet 'em Up's demise, all charges against him were dropped and Wet was later freed. So the second word came that the man who beat 4 murders now had a switch, the feds quickly began their investigation.
Damn.
Days after the search warrant, the feds would highlight 2 music videos by Wet, one titled Death and another titled Murder Man. In both songs, Wet recited lyrics about switches and murder. Multiple lyrics would be written into the federal complaint, although at no time was Wet seen possessing an actual switch, just rapping about them.
Right.
Wet would be charged with possession of a machine gun and now faces up to 10 years in federal prison. With the quadruple murder being Wet's first adult arrest and the fact that he beat all charges, Wet doesn't have much of a criminal history and luckily wasn't a felon, dodging another federal offense. Given his weak criminal history, Wet can expect anywhere from 3 to 5 years with a guilty plea. Now Wet 'em Up is going to prison. When you get a Fed case, it's pretty much sealed. And I mean, law enforcement literally watched him lean out of a window and throw a Glock up onto the roof. Then they went on the roof, found the Glock with a switch.
But do they got a video of them?
It's like said and done at that point. It's just going to be a matter of how much time he gets. He can get up to 10 years. But looking into similar cases for first-time offenders or people that don't really have a criminal record like that, you got motherfuckers getting caught with switches that are getting 6 years, 5 years, a little over 2.5. So he could get, my estimate, somewhere between 3 to 5. But he's definitely going to go to prison. I mean, it's a fucking Fed case. Now, Wet was given another chance at life. He got picked up on 4 murders. Whether or not he had anything to do with it, people that didn't like him were at the scene, watched 4 people get smacked, and then said, hey, we saw him do it. We know it was him. We saw it was him. And detectives later found out that they weren't credible witnesses. They were just most likely telling on their op who was Wet 'em Up, whose father had just got killed. So they are the ones that most likely gave the narrative to the investigators. Yo, his dad just got shot. He must have just slid for revenge. We saw him at the scene. And it took over 3 years for him to beat that case.
Right.
Which sounds like a lawsuit in itself, because if you put me at the scene and got me charged with 4 murders,
Right.
because you said I was there and then it was proven I wasn't, and I just had to do over 3 years in jail, how is that not a lawsuit? But push come to shove, he got freed, he hit the streets, he started dropping music videos, he's talking about switches, ops, this and that.
Right.
He's back in the bullshit. It doesn't really
Right.
seem like he's taking that second chance at life for what it is. It seems he's more so taking it for granted. And getting caught with that switch is gonna hopefully smarten him up, because he's gonna go to a federal prison. He's not gonna be in Cook County. He's gonna be around people that might be a little bit wiser.
Right.
And we'll see what comes from it. But y'all gotta stop playing with them switches, because had he had a regular gun case, he just would have went to Cook County. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal. Or maybe he could have got a fucking gun license, since he doesn't have that bad of a criminal history. But
Right.
you get caught with a switch, no matter who you are, you're gone. You're going to federal prison. Like, they're not playing about them switches.
No, they not.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's walking around with machine guns, and that's not even a gun to just have on you.
It's really not.
People specifically use that to go do shit with it.
Oh.
So it's like, you got a lot of motherfuckers that want to switch just so they look the part. Like, oh yeah, I got one of these bitches. And then you get locked up and you go into the feds because you got caught with that motherfucker. Stay away from the switches. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section.
Yeah, man. Man. You know what's funny? I was just outside the other day. Now I was out on the block. I was getting some food. And they're going to sit on the phone. Yeah. And we was outside on the block. Yo was amazed. Niggas, and as he was on out the door, yeah, switches glasses in it. I'm like, these niggas really be thinking that shit is cute as hell. These niggas be really thinking that shit cute as hell until you hear 25 to life.